with matric number 2005-03117, humbly representing my group, speaking on the subject matter, the outcome of the administration of Empower scheme in Nigeria. The description of Nigeria as a country is endowed with great natural resources that the country could be searched for, such as human resources, agriculture, petroleum, gas, and large solid mineral resources. But this seems to contradict the official statistics in the government circle and other non-governmental organizations that Nigeria bedeviled with a lot of economic problems, such as experiencing high inflation and maladministration of resources. Curbing this economic problem of poverty and unemployment among the teeming youth in Nigeria led the introduction of the temporary solution that can be regarded as Empower. Empower is a national social investment program initiated by the federal government of Nigeria, aimed specifically to create jobs, teeming population of unemployment youth in Nigeria through human capital labor force. The human boost appeared to be in the area of youth empowerment was intended to address the youth empowerment and employment. Youth empowerment was to be ensured through skills acquisition and development of youth in critical sectors such as education, health, and agriculture. The core objectives of the program seems to hinge on skills acquisition and development of the Nigerian youth, both educated and non-educated, who had minimal hope of securing jobs even at the minimum needed to survive or raise a family. In addition, the program was designed with an unemployment gaps in the profession in primary schools and to assist in taking basic education to children in remote areas, especially in marginalized communities. Furthermore, the program was also created to provide manpower to primary health centers in communities that appear to be understaffed, while also providing manpower in the area of agricultural business. Statements of the problem. Poverty and unemployment remain one of the biggest social problems in Nigeria today. Available data from Nigeria Bureau of Statistics 2010 shows that more than half of Nigerian population is currently living in squalid livelihood and has consistently remained a worrisome phenomenon demanding urgent attention, especially among youths in Nigeria. Efforts by successive governments to combat this social malady towards alleviating the precarious situation surrounding the Nigerian youth and to enhance the quality of life had ended in fiasco. As a consequence of abysmal and porous implementation of the said program, the outcome of the program to improve the standard of living of the people can be said to be relatively low or not having enough impact on the well-being of the larger populace because of the temporary and targeted number of people. In conclusion, this study shows that there is no significant influence of Empower program on youth productivity and empowerment among youths in Nigeria. This result negates the most prominent objective of establishing Empower program, which is to create temporary jobs to the unemployed graduates for 2 years and provide access to soft loans to the indigents. However, finding from the data analysis revealed that these aims are not be adequately met. Looking at the responses from the respondents, this might be due to the limited 2 years mandate, which cannot sufficiently sustain the said youths through their future. Lack of access to law is a dominating constraint to pacify the jobs in the economy. Proven by the findings of the study, it would be outrightly out of place to say that Empower program has been filled in this as not a sufficient veritable antidote to the endemic problem of unemployment and productivity among Nigerians. Thank you. Agbola Bukola, matric number 2005-03117, Department of Political Science.
Ibrahim Abdulatif Olamide, matriculation number 19053077, Political Science.
Oluwolafe Samuel, matriculation number 19050252, Political Science major.
Ogunja Isaac Ayomide, matric number 190209098, Political Science heading.
Olabi Mark Amidi, matric number 190209147, Department of Political Science Education.
Oluwatimileyin Kayode, matric number 190209150, Department of Political Science Education.
Oluwatosin Matric number 190, 2090, 58, Political Science Education.
Aládé Olúwatósìn Sunday.
University Ọdún Ayọ̀ 190503068 Political Science.
Aládé Olúwatósìn Sunday 190604065 Public Administration.
Ojo Victor Shade 190506064 Political Science major. Ayago Martins Chekube 190209051 Political Science Education.
Aditi Ayomdeluwa Feromi, matric number 190 2091 74, Political Science Education.
Adeiko Okoyemi Rufus, with the matriculation number 190604020 from the Department of Public Administration.
Present Okoyemi, with matric number 190 9181, Political Science Education.
My name is Dadamochi Faith Oluwasefunmi, matric number 2005-03120.
Waleola Temitope Esther 190153025. Agbiwemimo Joy 190209091.
Ogunanke Omobolale Oluwadamilala 190209182.
My name is Ogedengbe Precious Temitope, matric number 190209060.
My name is Idemide Ayeni Ronke, matric number 190209080.
My name is Augustine Taiwo Yemisi, matric number 190209144.
Adeyemo Stella Adekemi 190209079.
Standing before you is Adejumo Zinobadi Dolapo, matric number 1906040006, Public Administration students. I'll be presenting to you the topic Nigeria Administrative System, Regionalism or More States. The study Nigeria Administrative System, Regionalism or More States delves into the complexities and dynamic of Nigeria administrative framework, focusing on the debate between regionalism and the creation of more states. It examines the historical context of Nigeria administrative division, tracing back to the colonial era where the British established regions for administrative convenience. These regions were later transformed into states, a process that has continued post-independence, leading to the current structure of 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The study highlights the argument for and against regionalism. Proponents of regionalism argue that it promotes unity and efficient governance by reducing administrative costs and fostering regional development. They believe the larger regions can better manage resources and implement policies tailored to their unique needs. On the other hand, critics argue that regionalism can exacerbate ethnic tensions and lead to unequal development, as some regions may dominate others economically and politically. Conversely, the creation of more states is seen by some as a way to bring government closer to the people, ensuring more equitable distribution of resources and political representation. This approach is believed to address the diverse ethnic and cultural landscape of Nigeria, giving minority groups a greater voice and reducing the risk of marginalization. However, the study also points out the downsides, such as increased administrative costs, duplication of government function, and potential for corruption and inefficiency. The study also explores the impact of the administrative structure. The study also explores the impact of this administrative structure on Nigeria's socio-economic development. It examines case study of various states and regions, analyzing how the administrative status has influenced their development trajectories. The findings suggest that while some states have thrived under the current system, others have struggled due to the poor governance, lack of resources, and ethnic conflicts. This mixed outcome raises questions about the effectiveness of both regionalism and state creation of strategies for national development. Furthermore, the study considers political implications of Nigeria's administrative system. It discusses how the distribution of power among states and regions. It discusses how the It discusses how the it discusses how the distribution of power and it discusses how the distribution of power among states and regions affects national policies, including the balance of power between the federal and the state governments. The study also touches on the role of political elites in shaping administrative boundaries, often for personal or political gain rather than for the benefit of the populace. The study administrative system, Nigeria administrative system, regionalism or more states, provides a comprehensive analysis of the ongoing debate between regionalism and the creation of more states in Nigeria. It underscores the need for a balanced approach that considers the unique historical, cultural, and socio-economic context of Nigeria. The study calls for thoughtful reform that promotes good governance, equitable development, and national unity, while addressing the legitimate concerns of various stakeholders.
0209-025. Oyetomi Endurance, Political Science Education. Our topic is an appraisal of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu leadership technique. Political leadership refers to an impact of decision-making of a political outcome as a result of people in political office holder who influence the decision of others based on leadership lifestyle or personality. Leadership technique is a method used in guide a team or an organization in order to achieve an organization goal. It can also seen as a strategy, method, motivation of employee working effectively in order to achieve the organization goal. The appraisal of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu leadership technique. Before coming to power on May 29, 2023, Nigeria were faced with economic turmoil by awarded policy led by previous administration, which lead to redesign of Naira notes, which lead to the widespread of poverty, unemployment, terrorism within the country. President Bola Ahmed came in and tried to reform the system by remove the fuel subsidy and withdrawal of minimum wages, whereby it will be able to help to provide the well-being for the citizen and impose some elements in which need to be done in order to achieve an egalitarian system and the best way to the life of citizens. Number one, economy. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu withdraw 10,000 billion US dollar and put it in some certain section of the country such as education, transportation, or healthcare in order to provide the well-being of citizens. And number two, agriculture. He will declare a state of emergency on food and rename of the Ministry of Agriculture to Rural Development of Agriculture and provide over 11 billion naira to agricultural section in order to fight against the agricultural challenges. Number three, education. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu also gave access to student loan, whereby it will be help students who are in need to balance their academic finances and also give over 5.1 billion naira to TED fund in order to fight against the educational challenges or find a research in the educational system. Number four, security. Security has been one of the problems affecting Nigeria as a country. Upon coming to power, he introduced a new modern 5 aircraft in order to help the security department to fighting against the terrorism of the state, whereby over 9,000 hostage or people were released during his administration. And number five, infrastructure. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu invests in infrastructure about a railway station between Port Harcourt to Aba, which cover over 1,143 kilometers, and a railway station between Port Harcourt to Maiduguri, which become operative in administration, and Lagos to Calabar Airway. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has worked effectively in promoting the well-being of the citizen by allowing the citizens of the country to participate in the affair of their state and accommodate a people of a given country together, in whereby they will work effectively to promote the economic system, work against the security, and provide the adequate life that the people of the country deserve. Thanks.
Salma Kafil Mayowa, 190-290-32. Political Science Education.
About Tim Topamide, matric number 1902905. Political Science Education.
Abalaula de Damilola Oyewumi, 190209-177. Political Science Education.
Makunjola Emmanuel, matric number 190209149. Political Science Education.
Yagbemi Samuel, matric number 190209130. Political Science Education.
Aoni Nathaniel Mofoluwato,
Matric number 2005-03036, Political Science major.
Adekoye Tolulope Joseph 190209057, Political Science Education. Dauda Rukayat Onikonsola 190209103, Political Science Education.
Bolangewa Oladimeji Abi 190209087, Political Science Education.
I'm Sam Korede 190209129, Political Science Education.
Akintele Eskaya Mosi 190209186, Political Science Education.
190209143, Political Science Education.
Solomon Torisheju, Matric number 190209034, Political Science Education.
Matric number 190209139, Political Science Education.
You get a big role, sir. 190209085, Political Science Education.
Ṣẹ́wẹ̀dì Ayọ̀mídé Alfred 190209018.
Ọ̀pánìyàdé Wùmí Àṣàkẹ́ 190209170.
Taiwo Ebenezer 1902-09, Political Science Education. Kevin Friday 1902-09-027.
Mateola Olúbùnmi Ọlájùmọ̀kẹ́ 190209102, Political Science Education.
Ogunle Oluwaseun Samuel 190209134, Political Science Education.
Mari Dolamide 190209088, Political Science Education.
Ìdéorí Emmanuel 190299145.
Balogmayo Ismail 190209042, Political Science Education.
Babawode Daniel Ayodapo 190209046, Political Science Education.
Ọmọlé Esther Olúwabùkọ́lá 190209107, Political Science Education.
Amadi Nisiwa Maris 190209070.
Adesina Peter Ajayola, Matric number 190209089.
My name is Odeyemi Adewale Ebenezer with the Matric number 190209176 from the Department of Political Science Education, and we'll be talking on our project topic, which says civil service reform in Nigeria administration. So before we proceed, we would like to discuss what civil service means. Civil is derived from the Latin word civile, which means to guide, and service from the word service, a Latin word which means to aid. And according to this, civil service reform means to guide, to direct the affairs of the administration in the country. And using Nigeria as a case study, civil service reform in Nigeria administration simply means using the affairs and guiding the reform of civil service in Nigeria. And before we proceed, we have to look at the importance of civil service in Nigeria. The number one importance of civil service in Nigeria is implementation of policy. Civil service are embarked on the duties of implementing policy for the federal government, on the state government entirely. Civil service make policy that will be utilized in the society, and they also make policy that will be made use by the government. And number two of the importance of civil service is administration of government programs. They deal with the government programs and do everything that has to do in order to boost and hasten the government programs. These are the duties and importance of civil service reform in Nigeria. And thirdly, we go to the third importance of civil service in Nigeria, and it's advice and support for political leaders. They give advices to leaders, political leaders, and they give them ways and guidelines in which they need to work and they need to protect as a political leaders. Before we proceed, another is regularization and enforcement. They regulate and enforce the political stability of the society. They regularize the society to make it clean, free and fair for everyone. And the enforcement, they enforce what is to be done, like the law enforcement agency, what they do, they regularize and they do what needs to be done to make sure that the society is at peace. And another thing is public service delivery. They deliver what the public service needs to them, and they make sure that the public service entirely, they enjoy the dividends of being under the civil service reform in the country. And another reason is accountability and transparency. Civil service reform needs to be transparent and accountable for whatever they are doing, because in order to be accountable and to be transparent, they need to work hand in hand with the government parastatals to make sure that things works out the way they want. Another thing is representative government interest, which is the last. They represent government interest and make sure that the government interest they make it their utmost priority, and they make sure that the government interest is number one thing they have to do it and what they have been doing. And before let's proceed to the next, we have to look at some problems that the Nigerian civil service reform are facing. We have a series of problems because the number one problem is corruption, which is very paramount and it is essential, it is everywhere. corruption is one of the problems of every civil service office and every cadres. Because corruption starts from the top to the bottom. That means from the leaders to the followers. So corruption is one of the problems that is being faced by the civil service. Another problem of civil service is political interference. The political leaders are interfering in the civil service reform, which is not supposed to be. Politics are supposed to be met aside, and civil service are supposed to be on the independent on their own, so that they will be able to carry out their things on their own. Another problem is political instability, whereby we have for 4 years in which political leaders that came in, and a period of 4 years, we have to appoint his own members, which we give room to. So next one we have is bureaucracy, which means bureaucracy simply means the act of government putting their loved ones in place and making sure that things not having the right and best people for the job that is being done. Another thing we have negative poor attitude to work, that they put lazy people and people who are selfish, that they are being put in office, and which makes it a little bit hard for the office to grow and have a very well and defined civil service. Another one is shortage of qualified personnel, because there is no qualified personnel to be placed in office, which makes it difficult and a problem to the civil service reform. And another problem is tribalism, favoritism, and nepotism, which is everywhere in every administration. Favoritism, tribalism, and nepotism. If people like to use Yoruba people as an example, Yoruba people want to employ Yoruba indigenous like him, whether competent or not competent. They just want to make sure such person is there because they are his people, and they will do everything to make sure that they are people. And that is the problems of civil service reform. And before we round it up, let's look at the solutions to this problem. Number one solution is civil service independence. They need to be independent. They need to do things their way, so that there won't be any political interference. There won't be any politician acting or political instability between the civil service reform. Another thing is curbing of corruption. Make sure that the right personnel are being put in place and the right officials are being put in place. These are the things that can lead to success in civil service reform in the Nigerian administrative system. Lastly, before we go, and the last thing is appointment of qualified personnel. These are one of the solutions to the problems of civil service reform. When a qualified personnel is being appointed or is being given a job employment, this will be boosting the work of the civil service reform and make sure that everything is in place and in order. So before I write it up, let's briefly look at civil service definition. Civil service is the permanent professional branches of the state administration, excluding military and judicial branches and elected politicians. So that is what civil service reform of Nigeria administrative is. Thank you very much.
190/20/1999.
I agree to Bose for Flourish 190503061. Okocha Anlika Jessica 190503038.
Idris Samalande 190209188.
Zakiostos Museum 190503067.
Adedimola Emmanuel 190503023.
Ladi Tine Jeremiah 190209050.
Ajilo Damina Solomon 1905030.
Mofemi Kende Victoria 190503085.
Olajigbe Manuel Shelua 190209116.
Obala Beatrice Adedolapo 190503034.
1. Repeat ambulance Joshua 190209053.
Allo Lambrecon 190503078.
Milayo 190503043. The topic of our project is due process in Nigeria administration. Due process in Nigeria administrative process is a critical component of governance involving adherence to established legal actions and principles to ensure fairness, transparency, and accountability of government actions. This concept is vital for maintaining rule of law and protecting citizens' rights against arbitrary actions by the state. In Nigeria, the application of The application of due process has evolved over time, influenced by various political regimes and reforms aimed at improving governance, according to Afolabi and Oni 2021. Understanding the role of due process in Nigeria administrative system requires a comprehensive analysis of its legal framework, that is, constitution, historical context, and current implementation of challenges. Due process in Nigeria is underpinned by country's constitution, which outlines the fundamental rights of the citizen and legal procedure that government authorities must follow. The outcome of administrative due process in Nigeria can be seen in various areas of public administration. Effective adherence to due process can enhance the credibility and legitimacy of governmental actions, promoting public trust and confidence in state institutions. According to Uche and Iwosu 2019, due process is compromised. If due process is compromised, it can lead to corruption, it can lead to injustice, abuse of power, and widespread of public satisfaction. Statement of the ideal scenario for administrative processes in Nigeria would involve strict adherence to due process principles, ensuring that all governmental actions are conducted in fair and transparent manner and accountable manner. This would include rigorous enforcement of legal procedures, protection of citizen rights, and impartial decision making, free from corruption and political influence. According to ADMINSTRATIVE 2021, efforts to address these challenges has been made through various reforms and initiatives. Anti-corruption agencies such as EFCC, Economic Financial Crime Commission, have been established to combat corruption, although their effectiveness has been limited by political interference and lack of resources, according to Ogundele 2021. The summary of all the research methodology of this is that for this study we use qualitative approach, utilizing secondary data to analyze due process within Nigeria administrative framework. These methods involve an in-depth review of academic literature, policy documents, government reports, and empirical study published between 2018 and 2013. And the summary of this study is that the implementation of due process in Nigeria administrative procedures presents a multifaceted challenge characterized by both achievement and significant obstacles. The legal framework supporting due process as established by the Nigerian Constitution and relevant legislation provides a foundation for fairness and transparency. However, practical implementation often encounters hurdles such as inconsistent enforcement, bureaucratic inefficiencies, and corruption. Conclusion: the analysis of due process in Nigeria administrative procedure reveals a complex interplay between robust legal framework and persistent implementation challenges. Although Nigeria has established a solid foundation for due process through constitutional and legislative measures, the practical application of this principle often falls short due to systemic issues, corruption, bureaucratic inefficiencies, and inadequate resources, significantly undermine the effectiveness and efficiency of due process. This, despite recent advancements such as the adoption of e-governance tools, these issues continue to hinder process because the impact of due process on public trust and administrative efficiency underscores the need for comprehensive reforms. Addressing these challenges through targeted measures such as strengthening anti-corruption efforts, streamlining processes, and enhancing resource allocation is crucial for improving overall governance framework. By tackling this issue, Nigeria can enhance transparency, fairness, and effectiveness of its administrative process, ultimately fostering better government and public confidence. Thank you.
Akinye Tobiloba 190604071 Public Administration.
Janikede Emmanuel 190604052 Public Administration.
Go. Ogundare Tobiloba David 190209157 Political Science Education.
Ajibola Esther Fumilayo 190209148 Political Science Education.
Omofungbelu Abukumi Ejide 190209156 Political Science Education.
Adelile Joseph Anuluwa 190209065 Political Science Education.
Demilade Elizabeth 190209084 Political Science Education.
Agbola Stephen Akolade 190209180 Political Science Education.
Bolade Leris Richard 190604053 Public Administration.
Amoafsat Adwanla 190209011 Political Science Education.
Eniolayinda Molomlara 1902091158 Political Science Education.
My name is Ogunjobi Cynthia Angela Oluwa, matric number 190209067, Political Science Education. I'm here to talk about corruption in Nigeria administrative system. On the 29th of May 1999, Nigeria concluded a successful transition to civil democratic rule with the inauguration of President Olusegun Obasanjo as the country's second popularly elected president. The election of President Obasanjo came after 16 years of uninterrupted military rule, during which corruption and financial crimes were more or less installed as state policies. Although corruption is a major challenge for several other developing states, very few countries have been so ravaged by graft as Nigeria. This fact was duly underlined by the voting of Nigeria as the world's most corrupt nation in 1999, just weeks before Obasanjo was elected. In summary, focusing on the period during President Olusegun Obasanjo's presidency and the effectiveness of anti-corruption measures implemented during his tenure. The key findings from the study are summarized as follows. Prevalence of corruption. Corruption remains deeply entrenched in Nigeria with significant impact on governance and socio-economic development. Causes of corruption. The study identified several root causes of corruption in Nigeria, including poor governance, lack of accountability, weak legal frameworks, economic instability, and cultural factors. Socio-economic impact. Corruption has had severe socio-economic repercussions, including widespread of poverty, inadequate infrastructure, and political instability. Effectiveness of anti-corruption measures. The analysis of anti-corruption measures during Obasanjo's presidency reviewed both successes and limitations, while institutions such as the Economic and Financial Crime Commission (EFCC) and the Independent Corruption Practices Commission (ICPC) were established and made some progress. Challenges like selective enforcement and political interference hindered the overall effectiveness of the measures. Influencing factors. The success of anti-corruption efforts was found to be influenced by political will, public support, institutional capacity, and external pressure. These factors play a crucial role in determining the effectiveness of anti-corruption strategies. Also, based on findings, the following recommendations are proposed to enhance anti-corruption. They are: implement transparent practice, adopt comprehensive transparency measures in government processes, including open budgeting and precautionary procurement practices to minimize opportunity for corruption, enhance accountability mechanism, develop and enforce strict accountability measures for public officials and institutions, update anti-corruption law, review and revise anti-corruption laws to address existing loopholes and align with international standards, improve judicial efficiency, strengthen the efficiency and independence of the judiciary to ensure timely and fair administration of corruption cases, encourage whistleblowing, establish and protect mechanisms for whistleblowers who expose corruption, ensuring their safety and confidentiality, support anti-corruption agencies, provide adequate resources and autonomy to anti-corruption agencies such as EFCC and ICPC. Ensure these institutions are well equipped and improved to carry out their mandates effectively. Improve public infrastructure. Invest in critical infrastructure to enhance public services and reduce the negative impact of corruption on essential assets. In conclusion, the study has highlighted the persistent challenge of corruption in Nigeria, despite significant efforts to address the issue. Corruption continues to undermine undermine governance, impede socio-economic development, and exacerbate political instability. The effectiveness of anti-corruption measures has been mixed, with notable achievements tempered by ongoing challenges. To effectively combat corruption, Nigeria must adopt a comprehensive approach that includes strengthening governance, reforming the legal framework, enhancing institutional capacity, and fostering public and international support. Addressing the root causes of corruption and mitigating its socio-economic impacts are crucial for achieving sustainable development and improving the overall quality of governance in Nigeria. Implementing the recommended measures requires a sustained commitment from both domestic and international stakeholders. By doing so, Nigeria can make meaningful progress in its fight against corruption, thereby paving the way for more transparent, accountable, and effective governance. This study underscores the need for ongoing research and evaluation to adapt strategies and ensure that anti-corruption efforts are responsive to evolving challenges. Future research should focus on assessing the impact of implemented reforms, exploring regional variations in corruption, and learning from successful international practices. Thank you.
We speak different languages, but we interpret them all as leadership. We chose these leaders, therefore we can question their leadership inclination. I present to you the topic, Leadership Issues in Nigeria Administrative System. The crucial and major issue challenging Nigerians today and other developing countries of the world is that of leadership. It has been proven by past and present leaders that they lack the leadership capacity to move the administrative wheel of the country forward. Nigeria have passed through so many leadership styles, from independence till now, from the military regime to the civilian regime. And these regimes and administrations have failed because of the recourse, authoritative, and repression, because of the economic depression, because of the indiscriminated corruption, and also because of the economic politics played by our leaders to just show a self-successive tendency. These leaders are people who we have chosen, and their leadership styles have been influenced by so many factors: traditional factors, religious factors. It has been influenced by their philosophies. It has been influenced by their lack of power training, and it has also been influenced by the lack of technical capacity. Now, I will define leadership according to Buagwa in 2023. It says, leadership is the ability to influence a group of individuals to achieve set goals or objectives. And according to Leader Gulick in 1937, administration can be defined as the organization and direction of human and material resources to achieve desired goals. This leads us to our research objective, which was propelled by our research problem. One of it is, what is the challenge of leadership in Nigerian administration? What are the process of leadership style to achieve productivity in Nigerian administrative system? And lastly, what are the crises of leadership succession in Nigeria? I will go with the second question, which is the process of leadership style and productivity in Nigerian administrative system. To analyze this is also to conclude our question. Now, the leadership style in Nigerian administrative system is autocratic and bureaucratic. It is bureaucratic in the sense that after we were handed over to self-government, after independence in 1960, we followed the bureaucratic style and the 14 principles of bureaucracy by Max Weber. However, this is the 21st century, where countries, nations, humans are constantly evolving and changing into globalization. So we need something new. But because of we follow this pathway, we've remained stagnant. Now, which theory can we use to foster this and break this limitation, to have a good administration in Nigeria and to solve all of our challenges? 1, the path goal theory. 2, the leadership member exchange theory. 3, the self-determination theory. And all of this is to foster productivity in an administration. And the way forward is a crucial accountability. We also have adopting participation and transformational leadership style. In conclusion, productivity can be achieved and all of our challenges can be broken to have a successive leadership in Nigeria if we all move with the trend, breaking from the bureaucratic leadership style, achieving the new norms.
Akinsuroju Mujisola Abiodun, matric number 190503003 from Political Science.
Omobuli Anilo Elizabeth, matric number 190604028, Public Administration.
Atimisha Bimbola Mujisola, Public Administration, matric number 190604012. Oladipo Anjola Oluwadamilola, Department of Public Administration, matric number 200604041.
Leah Charity AB, matric number 190604078, Public Administration.
Okikela Bisola Mujisola, 190209006.
Akinwumi Damilola Oluwatope, matric number 190209039, Political Science Education.
Arowoselu Paul Ibikayo, matric number 19050350, from Political Science.
Everyone Adekunle Johnson, matric number 190604035, Public Administration.
Ojamto Operator, Public Administration, 190604017.
Oguli Joy Bukun David, matric number 190209166, Political Science Education.
Sani Aziz Damlari, matric number 19060411, Public Administration.
Olonfemi Tolulope Oluwaseo, matric number 190209882, Political Science Education.
Omoni Ireche Oluwatimileyin, matric number 190604005, Public Administration.
Abayomi Abosede Faith, matric number 190604072, Public Administration. Sunday Oluwafunmilayo Yohana, matric number 190604031, Public Administration.
Ibikunle Faidat Odunayo, matric number 190209020, Political Science Education.
Olakusipere Asayemi, matric number 190604050, Public Administration.
Oyekwande Juliet, Political Science Education, matric number 190209043.
Oladele Adedotun Henry, matric number 190604073, Public Administration.
Omodo Victor Koyemi, 190209061, Political Science Education.
Shabad Mokemesi, matric number 190604010, Public Administration.
Olani Rabaraka Dolabisi, 190209096, Political Science Education. Oyekwande Juliet, Political Science and Education, matric number 190209043. I'll be presenting on local government and national development. As we all know, local government is an important unit of government when it comes to national development. The local government, being the grassroots government, give rooms for people to select or elect among themselves a person who will represent their interests. Before now, 70% of Nigeria occupies the rural area, with acute shortage of infrastructural development and economic need. In light of this, the 1976 local government reform has pointed out that the local government is saddled with the responsibility of rectifying these challenges. From Fajobi 2010, divides local governments as a unit of government that is responsible for the maintenance of law and order, and also to encourage cooperation and participation at the local level, thereby improving their standard of living. While explaining national development as regards to local government, it will be important to note out the theories of local government. We have theories of local government. We have three theories of local government. First, we have the democratic participatory theory. This theory states that the local government serve as a training ground for future politicians. And it also pointed out that the democratization of local government at the local level will also result to democratization of local democracy at the national level, because the people at the local level are also the same people that made up the nation. Then we have
Fadi Perfumilayo Elizabeth, matric number 190604027. Adeni Bunyolwa Tobiloba Olaiwade, matric number 190503049.
Ojakaraki Ulyss Terence, matric number 190503020.
Akinyele Kemisola Esther, matric number 190604074.
Alabi Debo Oluwa, matric number 190604057.
Oriade Adetola Lydia, matric number 190503019.
Omojola Retomiwa Gospel, matric number 190604080.
Foyeju Emoimi Emmanuel, matric number 190503089.
Olusololawole, matric number 1905030012.
Ogboe Blessing, matric number 19060604047.
My name is Oriola Emmanuel Ifeoluwa, matric number 190503051. I and my group will be presenting on the topic, research topic, which is the Nigeria Police and Public Governance. The Nigeria Police and good governance. The relationship between Nigeria Police and good governance. Firstly, I would like to define what Nigeria Police is. Nigeria Police is an institution that maintains law and order in the society. What is public governance? Public governance are institutions, structures that make public policy, how public policy is being formulated, implemented, and being made in the society. So today, I want to take us to the background of the study, yes, the issues, the history of the Nigeria Police Force. The Nigeria Police Force. The Nigeria Police Force was first established in the year 1861, which was primarily with the primary aim to maintain law and order in the society. That was because that was for the advantage of the British colony in those times. They were basically to protect. The reason for it is that to basically protect the interests of the colonial masters then. So in the year it was named then Hausa Constabulary. In 1930, the Nigeria Police Force was re-established, was restructured so as to protect human rights and also maintain law and order in the society. So I will briefly talk about the roles of the Nigeria Police Force. The roles of the Nigeria Police Force, firstly, is to maintain law and order in the society, as I've said earlier. So 2 is to maintain traffic. 3 to investigate crimes in the society, among others. The Nigeria Police Force has been criticized on numbers of grounds, such as corruption. When we talk about corruption is a kind of popular phenomenon in this contemporary world. We have seen cases whereby the Nigeria Police Force collect bribes on the way, and that is why people have been clamoring. They have been clamoring for the issue of independence, that the Nigeria Police Force should be independent in the society. And also, the second criticism of the Nigeria Police Force in inefficiency. We have seen cases whereby the Nigeria Police Force erode human rights. That is, people did not trust them because they know that they are being dictated by the rich. The rich are being, they're like the poor are being oppressed. Issue whereby we take case to the police station. The issue whereby the cases are being taken to police station. People collect bribe. At the end of the day, justice are not made. But according to what Thomas Hobbes have made us to understand, the reason for the institution like the Nigerian Police Force, they should have the primary aim to protect the rights of their citizens. So I'm talking about the problems, the statement of the problems of this our research work. What's the statement of this problem? Is the statement of the problems in this our research work is firstly is the issue of corruption as well, and also secondly is the issue of political interference. That is when we make way to talk about the issue of the last cases of the NSAS, whereby it was told that it was the Lagos state government that told the military, the Nigerian police, to shoot the citizens that were protesting. In this case, for a society to be free from attack, for a society to do the needful, the Nigerian police force, there must not be political interference between the executive arm of government and the police force. So I'll be talking about the the theories, yes, the theories of that we make use of in this our research topic. We make use of the we make use of the system theory by David Easton, in which he categorizes it into demand, support in the political system. That is, the society, the citizen demand basic rights in the society. That is, the citizen must the citizen need protection. They need protection. That is why the institution, police force, must protect the interests of the society. There should not be corruption. They might not be corrupt. They should not take bribes. There should not be political interference between them. So these are the theory we'll be making use. And our research aim and objective is that we want to talk about the impact of corruption in the Nigerian police force, and also in the society. So secondly is that we want to look at the issue of political interference in the Nigerian police force. The reason why the Nigerian police force are not be carrying out their functions effectively. So and lastly, we talk about the challenges facing the Nigerian police force. So in conclusion, the Nigerian police force play a vital role in public governance, but its effectiveness is undermined. Issues such as corruption, as I mentioned earlier, and inadequate training. So another issue facing the Nigerian police force is the centralization of the Nigerian police force under the federal government. Yes, the issue of state police. Many governors have been clamoring for the issue of state police, and that is when the past governor of Ondo State, the late governor of Ondo State, the person of Arakuru Akeredolu, created an agency called Amoteku, so as to look at to protect the rights, the interests of his own citizens in the society. So the following are the recommendations in our research work that we'll be talking about, that in which that will help, that will enhance public governance. Firstly is the strengthening anti-corruption measures. Yes, that is strengthening anti-corruption. There should be an agency that will checkmate the Nigerian police force. Maybe they are carrying out their duties effectively, or they are being influenced by the governors. So another thing is improve training program in society. The third is increase resources allocation. Yes, they should be properly paid. And also lastly, there should be they should encourage public participation in the society. So this is in summary. In Nigeria police force, there must be independence, and the public governors, there must not be interference between the executive arm of government or the government officials and the Nigeria police. Thank you.
Akini Ifebo Damilola, political science major, matric number 190 50 30 53.
Olanudefe Taiwo, political science department, matric number 190 50 30 63.
Adebayo Toyin Faith, matric number 190 50 30 70, political science.
Akini Fayobami, political science education, matric number 190 20 90 41.
Olabintan Abiodun Solomon, matric number 190 50 30 46.
Bamidele Oluwatobiloba, political science education, 190 20 90 94.
Adebayo Santandewale, political science, matric number 190 30 50 96.
Adetola Adenike Adesheju, political science major, 190503100. Adetola Adenike Adesheju, political science major, 190503100.
Additional Paul Ojo, political science education, matric number 190-20-19-17.
Adegore Damlola Jeremiah, matric number 190-222-100, Educational Management.
Ware Blessing Abidemi, Public Administration, matric number 190-60-40-44.
Oyewole Olumide Precious, 190-50-31-08, Political Science major.
Kolapo Miriam, Political Science Education, 190-20-9179.
190-209-037, Ade Eniola Nilua.
190-20-90-04, Political Science Education, Adenuga Victor.
190-209-185, B. Kolajide David, Political Science Education.
Welcome to our innovative project presentation video. Join us as we showcase our teamwork and expertise. Course code post 402. Lecturer in charge, Professor Bayo Fasonwo. Topic, local government autonomy to be.
Obasoli Motolani Similoluwa, Department of Public Administration, 190-60-40-21.
Adola Pindayo Francis, Department of Public Administration, 19-06-04-038.
APCJ Oluwafunke Caroline, from the Department of Public Administration, 190-60-40-18.
Aki Dion Toby Benjamin, Department of Public Administration, 190-60-40-22.
Akere Oluwayo, from Department of Public Administration, 190-60-40-33.
Ojula Tofumi Abiodun, Department of Public Administration, 190-60-40-37.
Olajide Oluwayomi Omolara, from the Department of Public Administration, 260-41-12.
Ayorin Dololade Damilola, from Department of Public Administration, 190-60-40-01. Suleiman Mr. Olamide, Public Administration, 260-40-95.
The Public Administration, 260-40-82.
Akimandelu Africa Elizabeth, Department of Public Administration, 190-60-40-62.
Akegbejo Moses Oluwase, from Department of Public Administration, 190-60-40-58.
Kyobola Oluwapelumi, Department of Public Administration, the matric number 200-60-4119. I'll be speaking on the topic local government autonomy to be. I would first like to start by defining a federation. A federation can be defined as a political entity which consists of other smaller entities such as area, council, or territories that are united under a central government. In a federation, powers are shared between the central government and other smaller entities which have a degree of self-governance and self-autonomy and self-governance. I would also like to define fiscal federalism. Fiscal federalism can be defined as the distribution of fiscal resources and responsibilities to different levels of government in the federal system. This refers to a situation whereby funds are released in the administrative system to different units for efficiency and effectiveness. I would also like to define local government autonomy. Local government autonomy refers to the degree of freedom and self-governance that local governments have, such as municipalities, counties, and cities, in order to make decisions for themselves without the interference of other levels of government, such as federal government or state government. The reason for the creation of local government is to bring the government closer to the people, but we have not been able to achieve this due to some sections in the Constitution. While there are limits to the levels, to the powers of the levels of government in the Constitution also makes it hard to implement these powers. Taking for example, in Nigeria, local government is considered the third tier of government, but their powers are not explicitly listed in the Constitution, like the federal and state government. Instead, the Constitution grants the state government the authority to create local government and assign their function. This means that local government powers are derived from state government, and their functions and responsibilities are determined by state laws. Although Section 162 subsection 3 of the Constitution make provision for the funding of the local government by both the federal and state government, the said section also provided for a local government and state government account to be managed by the state government in the same constitution, and through which the state shall transfer funds to each of the local government of the state. This provision placed the local government under the control of the state government. Also, Section 4 of the Constitution provided legislative powers between the national and the state government only. No legislative power were constitutionally granted to the local government. Most times, in cases where states conduct elections for local government, the party in power will win because the candidates are whom the state government choose. Autonomy is saying no area of the constitution that gives the federal or state government power over the local government should be removed. Under the present arrangement, local government will have control over their finances, their elections, and even creation of another local government. The current lack of autonomy has led to a range of problems such as financial dependence, political interference, corruption, limited public participation, and poor capacity. In recent times, local government has been granted financial autonomy, which has led to a lot of controversies between the state governments. In conclusion, local government autonomy is important for effective governance and effective service delivery. The benefit of greater autonomy includes improved service delivery, increased economic growth, enhanced public trust and accountability in local governance.
Thank you for watching our presentation.
Ayodeji, matric number 190209169, political science education.
Izewu Gabriel, matric number 190209106, political science education.
Adebayo Taiwo Moyeni, 190503028, political science major.
Atanisha Sunday Samuel, 190209135, political science education.
Adebayo Adamilola Anna, 190209141, political science education.
Oyinbo Stephanie Olamide, 190503009, political science major.
Gowon Damilola Joseph, 190209049, political science education.
Azan Farouk Okoyemi, 190209109, political science education.
Erero Masulu Mohajiri, 190209010, political science education.
Patrick Isaac Michael, 1909048, political science education.
Ania Mary Oriofe, matric number 190209115, political science education.
Toby Amadi, 190209014, political science education.
Adekale Adeshola Emmanuel, 190503087, political science major.
Badimosi Kende Antonio, 190503033, political science major.
Tumba Kalamide, 190209022, political science education.
Asagunla Blessing Olayinka, 190604083, public.
Azan Farouk Okoyemi, 190209109, political science education. We'll be talking about federalism and wage allocation. What nexus? Firstly, we need to know what federalism entails. Federalism is the constitutional division of power between the central government and component units. Hence, we can also say federalism is the division of power among the three tiers of government. What are the three tiers of government? The federal government, the state government, and the local government. Going to what nexus means. Nexus is the connection and link between two or more things, concepts, or entities. Checking what nexus is between the federalism and wage allocation in Nigeria system. Number one is the revenue generation. The revenue generation refers to how government gets or generates income to the system in order to allocate and evenly distribute them to other two tiers of government. Number one, they generate through taxation, whereby firms, industry, companies, private organization pay, and that generates source of income. Number two, revenue allocation. After generating the revenue, governments are expected to allocate them and in their evenly right proportion to other three tiers of government to keep them working and keep them running. Economic policy. Thank you.
Motion in comfort Oluwaseun with matric number 190604040 from the Department of Public Administration. ADMINSTRATIVE Christiana with matric number 190209054. Political Science Education.
My name is Obayomi Fadekemi Bisola from the Department of Political Science Education, matric number 190209127.
Adebayo Olariwaju Michael from the Department of Public Administration with matric number 190604064.
From Department of Political Science Education, matric number 190209155.
Zafenifoluwa Faith from Department of Public Administration, matric number 190604029.
Ms. Aderoyi Wande Rachel, matric number 190209001. Political Science Education.
Latimos Luben from Department of Political Science Education with matric number 190209137.
Adebayo Nodura Bisi, matric number 26120 from Department of Public Administration.
I'm Raji Akim, 1902-09168 from the Department of Political Science Education.
I am Favor Gift Omurense from the Department of Political Science, Faculty Education, with the matric number 192-09161. I'll be talking briefly on the civil service and national development. What's the nexus? The civil service is an agent of development in any nation. The transformation of any nation solely depends on its civil service, particularly developing societies. The civil service is a feature in all nations, both at the federal, state, and local level. Indeed, whether the chief executive of a nation is the president, the governor, an emperor, a mayor, or even a duke, all still falls within the ambit of the civil service. Nigeria occupies a unique position in the formulation and implementation of national development. The civil service has adopted different ways of managing an ailing economy through structural adjustment programs known as SAP. The civil service has been involved in various reforms over the years. The civil service is not limited to the federal only, but even at the state and local level to promote grassroots development. I am Favor Gift Orumwese. Once again, thank you.
The topic is the old new and the new old national anthem, its implications on governance. Good afternoon, my name is Victoria Kikelo with matric number 190503041 from Department of Political Science major. The topic is actually divided into 5 chapters because it is a project work. The first chapter, it gives us the background story, the introduction, the scope of the research, the types of research, and the research used. As we all know, Nigeria is a post-colonial independent entity that is characterized with the strive for desire for peace, unity, multidimensional development, and progress. The scope of the project reads the old and the contemporary national anthem of Nigeria. The type of research used, we made use of the secondary qualitative data, and this is because our research is based on the articles and books written by people. The chapter 2, it comprises of the conceptual clarification of concepts, and this conceptual clarification of concept, it consists of the old new and the new old national anthem, the lyrics, and it also took us back to time whereby they were making use of the old national anthem. The WIOD national anthem was actually criticized by some Nigerians, and this is because they believed that it was not reflecting Nigerians' culture, their ideologies and their identity, but instead it was kind of depicting the culture of the colonial masters. Chapter 3 is all about the historical view. This took us back to time, the historical view of national anthem. This historical view of the old national anthem and the new national anthem. The old new national anthem and the new national anthem, Nigeria WLD, that was what is being used then. But Nigerians criticized it, like I said earlier, and they believed it's actually because it was not depicting Nigeria's true identity. The Arise of Compatriots was brought into limelight as a result of Nigerians because they felt it is more better than the WLD because it was actually referring to Nigeria's culture and Nigeria's identity. Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is about the adoption of the new anthem by President Tinubu. According to ADMINSTRATIVE 2024, he addressed the significance for the need to change the new old national anthem to the old new national anthem. According to him, he said this anthem already shifted from political ideology to addressing the contemporary challenges of this country. And they believe with this old new anthem, Nigeria is going to triumph and also address the challenges. According to Muyiwa 2024, Muyiwa also believed that the change in this anthem is also a shift of the political ideology to real democracy, which is to be practiced in this country, that also address the human rights and the social justice in the country. Chapter 5 is a summary of this work, which also deals with governance, which is also the implications of these anthems on governance. What is governance? Governance can be defined as a reflection or a process to decisions that have been implemented. It's also made us understood what national anthem is. National anthem is believed to be a symbol of our culture, our identity, our value, and unity. The implications of this anthem on Nigeria, it is believed that now that they've addressed or they've adopted this new anthem, this old new anthem, it is going to address the challenges we are facing and is going to bring in about the real democracy which is to be practiced, which means Nigeria is going to be united as well. Thank you.
ADM Mr. Ladetinike 190503097, political science major.
Bukola Damilola 190604079, public administration.
Adewoye Victoria Oluwadamilola 190209117, political science education.
Ayodele Mayowa Emmanuel 190222005, educational management.
Ademika Mayowa Bolawa 190503035, political science major.
Adebayo Seun David 190209030, political science education.
Orewole Oluwafayokemi Joy 190222116, educational management.
Akoni Emmanuel Oluwatobi 190604068, public administration.
Adejuma Muitin 190503040, political science major.
Bolarin Olayemi Libyo 190503079, political science major. Ojoluwafemi Festus 190604084, public administration.
David Afolayo Ojo 2604116, public administration.
Olatuja Michael Oluwatumishi 190503052, political science. Omotosho Solomon Olayemi 190503057, political science major.
My name is Ogbonra Ebami Akimbolaji from Political Science Department, matric number 190503011.
Oluwalusi Temidayo, matric number 190503029, political science major.
Akiloton Philip, matric number 190503017, political science major.
Udasin Samuel, matric number 1920916, political science education.
Adeusitolade Emmanuel, political science education 190209015.
Oluwaseun Ade, political science major 190503103.
Akimbote Babatunde, matric number 190503024, political.
I'm Stanley Tamarami, matric number 190305081.
Isogbon Oluwapelumi Clement, matric number 190305092, political science major.
Sanusi Olamide Awal, matric number 190503109, political science major.
Alayari Joy Olawumi, matric number 190503074.
Medoye Adetutu Blessing, political science major 190503102.
190503047, Ayla Margaret from Life Political Science. My name is Ojomo Sandra Adeniola, matric number 190503002, political science major. I'll be presenting for the group with topic towards true federalism. Nigeria is one of the most ethnically diverse countries in the world with over 250 ethnic groups. Nigerian federalism is a creation of the British. The arrival helps reduce devices like cannibalism, ritual murder, and killing of twins. Nigerian transformation into federal state started in 1954 as a result of the Littleton Constitution in 1953. There is no doubt that the only system that could hold Nigeria as one and united entity at the moment is federalism. The choice of federalism and its character, however, largely depends on a common stand reached by Nigerians. Two major federal arrangements were each tested, and each has its own sides of strength and weaknesses. The First Republic's federalism had a weak and center and strong regions, while the post-1966 federalism had a strong center and weak states. They were on opposite sides. Nigeria have the choice of the federal arrangement to make. However, what determines the success or failure largely depends on the compliance with the established principles guiding the operation of federalism in relation to constitutional provisions. At any rate, these virtues of federalism are tolerance, accommodation, compromises, and heterogeneity, which must be wholly embraced and upheld for Nigeria to move on as one united entity. This paper submits that in spite of structural deficits and some other problems, federalism still did not hold better prospects for political in Nigeria if the factors that attenuate instability can be attenuated. It is therefore suggested that attention and more effort should be directed to how to have a national political leadership that would work to inspire citizens to think and act federal. This necessarily involves moderation, sincerity, and compromise on the part of political actors in the process of competition. Second, political education and enlightenment of the citizens and the need to propagate the positive virtues of federalism are essential. This would help erase negative thoughts and skepticism about the systems. Some recommendations for true federalism are constitutional reform, devolution of power, fiscal federalism, state autonomy, regional development, inclusive governance, accountability and transparency, gradual implementation, national dialogue, and international support, amongst others. Thank you.
Ajumbale Similoluwa, 1902-06 for Political Science Education.
Omotoso Glorioluwa matric number 190503026, Political Science. Alena Yomide Grace, matric number 190503086, Political Science.
Adekote Imo Rebecca, matric number 190503106, Political Science. Enkolani Oladunlu Apolisi, matric number 190209044, Political Science Education.
Adibi Yomlade Esther, matric number 190201919, Political Science Education.
Jennifer Kaluato Global 190209047, Post Edu.
Olusegun Feyikemi Patricia, matric number 190604048, Public Administration. Twandi Rosi Maria, matric number 190207007, Public Administration.
Akínlọ́wọ́ Tolúlọpẹ́ Olúwadámilọ́lá, matric number 190604085, Public Administration.
Salami Sinai Samuel, matric number 190503007, Political Science.
Lawal Ridwan Tosin, matric number 190209090, Political Science Education.
Good morning. My name is Adito Rose Fadera, matric number 190503042, and I will be talking briefly on the topic traditional rulers in contemporary Nigeria administrative system. Traditional rulers in contemporary Nigeria play significant cultural and advisory roles within the modern administrative system. Despite not holding formal governmental power, here is a summary of their influence and functions. Number one, I'll be talking about cultural custodians. Preservation of heritage. Traditional rulers are seen as custodians of culture, customs, and traditions, ensuring the continuity of cultural practices. Ceremonial rules. They preside over traditional festivals like Oro, Oshun, every traditional festival, ceremonies and rituals, reinforcing community bonds and cultural identity. Number two, advisory rules. Governance, number one, under the advisory rules. They often act as advisors to local, states, and sometimes federal governments on matters affecting their communities. Conflict resolution. Traditional rulers mediate disputes and conflicts within their jurisdictions, offering resolution based on customary law. Then number 3, community development advocacy. They advocate for the development needs of their communities, such as infrastructure, education, and healthcare. Mobilization. Under this mobilization, traditional rulers can mobilize community members for collective actions such as community services, projects, or public health campaigns. Number 4, political influence. Political endorsements, although they do not engage directly in partisan politics, their support can influence the outcomes of elections and political appointments. Bridge between government and people. They act as intermediaries, communicating government policies and programs to the grassroots and conveying the needs and opinions of the people to the government. Then number 5, economic rules. Land administration. In many areas, traditional rulers play a role in land allocation and dispute resolution over land matters. Economic initiatives. They sometimes initiate and support local economic projects such as markets and agricultural programs, challenges and evolution, modernization. Balancing traditional roles with modern administrative practices, then legitimacy, ensuring their relevance and authority in a rapidly changing socio-political landscape. Integration is another challenge. Finding effective way to integrate traditional institutions with formal government structures for improved governance and development. Overall, traditional rulers in Nigeria maintain a respected and influential position within the society, contributing to cultural preservation, social cohesion, and local government. Thank you. Once again, my name is Adito Rose Fadera, matric number 190503042.
My name is Samuel Rebecca Temitope, matric number 190209073, political science education.
My name is Abiodun John Olawale, matric number 19060469 from the Department of Public Administration.
My name is Ajile Success Okwamekosi with matric number 19060425 from Department of Public Administration.
My name is Akinboye Joshua from Department of Political Science Education. My matric number is 1902092120.
Ali Blessing Uluwambe from Political Science Education, matric number 190209154.
My name is Yaya Indamula Sadomese, matric number 19029003 from Department of Political Science Education.
My name is Joseph Meso Degwa, matric number 190209132 from the Department of Political Science Education.
Olushola Ana Ayomide from Public Administration, matriculation number 19060403.
Jibola Tosinesta from Political Science Education, matric number 190209059.
My name is Odell Memabolaji Janet from Department of Political Science Education. My matric number is 190209126.
My name is Iyamole Vivian Fadekemi from the Department of Political Science Education. My matric number is 190209086.
Adekoyama Velasco Insola from the Department of Political Science Education, matric number 190209028.
My name is Akintok Marvelous from Political Science Education with matric number 190209122. I will be speaking on the topic that says politics of job recruitment in Nigeria. Nigeria, the most populous African country with the largest economy, faces significant challenges in job recruitment due to political factors. This politicization incorporates nepotism, favoritism, tribalism, and corruption, resulting in inefficiency and ineffectiveness in both public and private sectors. Unqualified, inexperienced, unskilled, and incompetent personnel occupy critical positions, undermining organizational performance and public trust. Now, what is popularization of job recruitment? Let's see what the meaning is. Popularization of job recruitment refers to the process by which political considerations such as affiliations and connections dominate job selection criteria, overshadowing merit and qualifications. In contrast, merit-based recruitment emphasized selecting candidates based on their qualification, skills, experience, and performance in competitive assessments, ensuring fairness and equity. Let's look at the impacts of politicization of job recruitment on both public and private sectors. In the public sector, politicized recruits leads to the appointment of unqualified individuals, resulting in poor service delivery and diminished trust in government institutions. The efficiency caused by this practice hampers the effectiveness of public services, affecting the quality of life for citizens. In the private sector as well, similar issues arise when political considerations overshadow merit-based recruitment. Companies that prioritize connections over competence often experience reduced productivity, innovation, and competitiveness. Ineffective management and poorly executed business strategy became prevalent, hindering the overall growth and sustainability of these organizations. Now, again, we'll be looking at the relationship between job recruitment and politics. The relationship between job recruitment and politics is deeply intertwined in Nigeria, where political actors use job recruitment as a tool to reward loyalty, security support, and consolidate power. This practice undermines the principle of fairness and equity, as positions are filled based on political connection rather than the qualification and ability of candidates. This politicization perpetuates a cycle of corruption and inefficiency, further degrading organizational performance and public satisfaction. Now, there are some recommendations that can promote and enhance the moving forward and progress of this particular problem. Now, recommendations such as strengthening merit-based recruitment. Implement strict merit-based recruitment policy that prioritize candidates' qualification, skill, experience, and performance in competitive assessment. This ensures that the most competent individuals are selected for job position. Secondly, enhance transparency and accountability. Establish transparent recruitment processes and mechanisms for accountability to prevent favoritism, nepotism, and corruption. Regular audits and public disclosure of recruitment criteria and decisions can help maintain integrity in the process. Thirdly, capacity building in training. Invest in training and development programs to enhance the skills and competencies of the workforce. Continuous professional development ensures that employees are well equipped to meet the demands of their roles and contribute effectively to organizational goals. Fourthly, policy reforms. Enact and enforce policies that discourage political interference in job recruitment. Legal framework should support merit-based hiring and penalize practices that undermine it. The number fifth of it is public awareness and engagement. Raise public awareness about importance of merit-based recruitment and the detrimental effects of politicization. Encourage citizens' engagement and advocacy for fair and transparent hiring practices. In conclusion, I would like to conclude that addressing the politicization of job recruitment is crucial for improving the efficiency and effectiveness of both public and private sector organizations. Nigeria, by strengthening merit-based recruitment, enhancing transparency and accountability, investing in capacity building and acting policy reforms, and fostering public awareness and engagement, Nigeria can create a more competent and motivated workforce. This measure will not only enhance organizational performance, but also restore public trust and confidence in institutions, contributing to the overall development and prosperity of the nation, Nigeria.
Nigeria administrative system is deeply influenced by diverse ethnic composition, which include over 250 ethnic groups. This diversity has both positive and negative impacts on governance accountability. My name is Omotosho Gloryoluwayemisi, matric number 190503026, and I'll be speaking on the topic ethnic value and accountability in Nigeria administrative system. Ethnic value encompass the cultural belief, tradition, and social norms that guide behavior within various ethnic groups. This value influence the expectation and behavior of both administrative and citizen in Nigeria. Ethnic value loyalty shapes politics alliance and service appointment potentials, prioritizing ethnic and consideration over merit. I'll be talking about accountability. Nigeria administrative system refers to the obligation of governance officials to be able to answer to every of their action that is being taken, ensuring transparency and integrity. Effective accountability mechanism includes checks and balance, transparency in decision making, and anti-corruption measure. The interplay between ethnic value and accountability presents a complex dynamic. On one hand, ethnic loyalty can undermine accountability and fostering nepotism, and this can also lead to the appointment of unqualified individual based on ethnic ties, reducing efficiency and increasing corruption. This simply means that people get to put people that they know, which have no knowledge or anything about such work, and this leads to corruption in the country. On the other hand, leveraging ethnic values positively can enhance social cohesion and ensure inclusive representation, which can contribute to more accountable and responsive administrative system. The challenges involved in this include ethnic diversity in a way to promote unity and equity, addressing perceived corruption influenced by ethnic favoritism, and ensuring that public officials are held accountability regardless of their ethnic background, regardless of where they come from, regardless of the money they have, regardless of their status. They will be held accountable for their action. Additionally, there is need for policy that balance ethnicity representation with meritocracy. To improve accountability within Nigeria administrative system, it is essential to 1. Promote merit-based appointment and discourage ethnicity favoritism, strengthen anti-corruption agency and ensure that they operate independently, fostering a cultural transparency and accountability through education and public awareness. 4. Implement policy that ensure equitable ethnic representation without compromising on efficiency and competency. In conclusion to this, the ethnic value and integral part of Nigeria's social fabric that influence on the administrative system must carefully be managed to enhance accountability and good governance. We'll be moving on to the strategy of improvements. 1. institutional reform. Strengthening institutions to be more transparent and accountability is very crucial. This includes enhancing the capacity of anti-corruption body like the Economics Financial Crime Commission, that is the EFCC, and Independent Corrupt Practice Commission, ICPC, to operate without politics interference or politician interference. We'll be moving on to number 2, public social reform or public service reform. Implementing strict merit-based recruitment and promotion process in the public service to reduce the influence of the ethnic favoritism. This can be achieved through standard testing and clear performance merit. 3. Legal framework. Strengthen the legal framework to ensure law regarding corruption and accountability are robust and enforced impartially. This include protecting whistleblower and also ensuring that illegal proceeding against corruption officials are swift and fair, that is, they are fast. Number 4, civil education. Educating the citizen about the importance of accountability and the negative effects on ethnic favoritism can also help, and this can be done through public campaign, social curriculum, and also community program to foster a culture accountability. Number 5, technology and innovation. Leveraging technology and enhancing transparency and accountability in government operation. This include e-governance initiatives that make government transaction to be more transparency and accessible to everyone, that is the citizen. Number 6, inclusive governance. Ensuring that all ethnic groups are fairly represented in government institutions, not through quotas but by creating the environment where diversity are valued and respected. This can help to reduce the feeling of marginalization and promote national interest. We're moving on to the potential benefits. 1, improve governance. A more accountability administrative system can lead to a better governance, with public officials more likely to act in the public interest rather than personal or ethnic gain. Number 2, economic growth. Reduce corruption and more efficient public service can also help to improve the business environment, attracting both local and foreign investment, fostering economic growth. Number 3, social cohesion. Addressing the ethnic favoritism can help to reduce the tension between different ethnic groups, between the citizen, and also promoting national unity from one community or from one state to another. Number 4, public trust. Increased accountability and transparency can also help to rebuild the public trust in government and also promoting national unity and stability. That is, it is also essential that the citizen will be able to trust the government regardless of whatever they say, to help to promote a functioning democracy. In conclusion to this, the interplay between the ethnic value and accountability in Nigeria administrative system is very complex and multifaceted, within which ethnic diversity is the strength, and it also posed as a challenge to effective government and also accountability. By implementing this cooperation reform that addresses the roots of these causes of corruption and ethnic favoritism, Nigeria can also create a more accountability, transparency administrative system. This will not only help to improve the governance and economic performance, but will also help to promote social cohesion and national unity. Now, to better the impact of the ethnic values and accountability of Nigeria administrative system, we'll be examining some specific case study that can also be helpful. We'll be talking about the NYSC, that is the National Youth Service Corps, established to promote unity among Nigeria. This was established to promote unity among Nigerian diverse ethnic group. The NYSC sent graduates to different parts of the countries to work and to serve the country, and this program aimed to foster understanding and reduce ethnic prejudice. However, its effectiveness is sometimes undermined by local bias and administrative efficiency. Number 2, the federal character principle. This constitution mandate requires that appointment to public service institution must reflect on the ethnic diversity of Nigeria. While intended to promote inclusiveness, it has sometimes be criticized for prioritizing ethnic balance. However, thereby affecting the quality of public administration. I'll be moving on to number 3, anti-corruption campaign initiative. The anti-corruption The anti-corruption campaign initiative is different administration such as the war against indiscipline in 1980s and recent efforts by the EFCC have had mixed results. Success and failure of this campaign often highlight the challenges of implementing accountability in a system influenced by ethnic and political loyalties. Conclusively, addressing the interplay between the ethnic value accountability in Nigeria administrative system requires a multifaceted approach that includes legal reform, public service improvement, and civil education. While challenges remain, the potential benefit of more accountability and inclusive administrative system are substantial, promising improved governance, economic growth, and social cohesion. By fostering a culture of meritocracy and transparency while respecting ethnic diversity, Nigeria can build a more effective and equitable administrative system for all its citizens. Thank you very much. My name is Omotosho Gloria Oluwayemisi.
Ijalano Samson Ayodeji 190-503-018.
Oluwololuwaso Imole Ayo 190-53-111.
Oriola Benjamin 190-50-30-30. Abuaremide Temitope 1902-09045.
Adetoro Rose Faderera, matric number 190-503042.
Omoboye Sunday Adeoye 1905-03-010.
Ojumu Abraham Olamide 190-50-30-69.
Akindele Tulope Marvelous 190-050-3039.
Adebi Temilade Vincent 190-50-3066.
Omotola Taiwo Tosin, matric number 190-50-3091. Banke Julius Oluwafemi, matric number 190-50-3094.
Taiwo Idowu Gabriel 190-50-30-13. Post.
We will be talking on the impact of Nigerian administrative system on national development. Nigeria's administrative system plays a crucial role in national development. Effective administration can bring stability, service delivery, economic growth, and investment. However, Nigeria's system faces challenges like bureaucratic inefficiency, corruption, and inequitable resource allocation, hindering development. The positive impact of Nigerian administrative system includes the stability and continuity in government, service delivery and public goods provision, economic growth and investment attraction. While its negative impacts include bureaucratic inefficiency and corruption, lack of accountability and mismanagement of resources, inequitable resource allocation, and regional disparities. Challenges facing the system include inadequate policy implementation and poor governance, corruption and lack of transparency, and inefficient bureaucratic processes and red tape. Now we come to the
Matric number 190-50-3075. I'm here to give a brief introduction of our topic, governance in Nigeria, the nature and the outcome. Governance refers to how a group, organization, or country is managed and controlled. It involves the processes and systems used to make decisions, set and implement policies, and also to ensure accountability. Governance in Nigeria is profoundly influenced by its historical, political, and socio-economic context, featuring a blend of traditional, colonial, and modern elements. The federal structure aims to accommodate ethnic diversity and promote balanced development and local autonomy. However, the implementation of federalism has been challenged by uneven resource distribution, intergovernmental conflict, and centralization tendencies that undermine state and local government autonomy. Patronage and clientelism play significant roles, with political leaders maintaining power through patronage networks, resulting in corruption, inefficiency, and exclusion of marginalized groups from political and economic opportunities. Corruption remains a major issue despite the establishment of anti-corruption institutions like the EFCC and the ICPC. Corruption is entrenched in both the public and private sectors, with high-profile scandals undermining public trust and the state's legitimacy. Political interference and a lack of consistent enforcement of the anti-corruption laws further complicates the fight against corruption. While Nigeria has made progress in the consolidating democratic institutions since 1999, with regular elections and active civil society organization advocating for transparency and accountability, challenges persist in economic and social governance.